Hi everyone, I'm Gary Sturgis, grief specialist and the author of Surviving 365 Days a Year. I'm just coming on live today to talk about the year's resolutions for grievers. So while I'm waiting for you guys to get on, I just want to say thank you so much for all the emails you guys sent me. Um, my father-in-law, as I told you on the page, he died 2 days before Christmas, so that was a sad event for me and my family. But I appreciate all the emails you guys sent me and the condolences and sympathy that you put forth to me during that difficult time. And I have to say that my father in law, his name was Woody, he was without a doubt one of the sweetest human beings on the face of the earth. He really was. So he is greatly missed. But I appreciate all the condolences that you guys gave me. And I'm just waiting for some of you guys to get on, and I'll start talking about the 7 New Year's resolutions for grievers. But I wanted to say thank you so much to all of you that have read my books. And if you haven't gotten a copy of Surviving Grief 365 Days a Year, this is the best time of year to get a copy. Grab a copy for yourself because starting it on January 1st is a great time to start. You can start at any time, but starting on the first of the year is great. It's you only have to read 1 page a day, 1 or 2 pages a day. I know when you're grieving, it's hard to stay focused on anything for very long. So I think that you'll find it helpful to get you through the new year that we're approaching now. And I want to say that I really appreciate any review that you leave me on Amazon. So they always say that the best thank you you can give an author is to leave a review. So I hope that if you read the book or you are reading the book and you're finding it helpful, I really appreciate it if you would leave me a review on Amazon.com, because your reviews are what get the book into the hands of people that need them. And also, I want to just tell you a little bit about some of the upcoming live in-person events that I'll be doing. My calendar is not set up yet. My admin team is working hard on that, and I want to give a shout out to them because I appreciate everything that they do for me. And so the only one that I do have confirmed right now is on February 12th at 5 p.m. I'll be in Pembroke, Massachusetts at the Center for Active Living. So I hope you guys will join me for that presentation. It's a surviving grief presentation, and it is currently not open for registration, but as soon as it becomes open for registration, I will post it on my Facebook page. So that being said, I'm going to talk about the 7 New Year's resolutions for grievers. So, number one resolution is go easy on yourself. And this may sound obvious, but it's easier said than done. So, don't place expectations on yourself that you may not be able to live up to. Don't pressure yourself or allow others to pressure you into feeling like you should be over your loss. This might feel like the opposite of a resolution because it's far from goal oriented, but really, being kind to yourself may be the best New Year's resolution that you can make. And the second resolution is spend time with people you like. Life after grief can be isolating, so resolve to put a little effort into connecting with people who make you happy and make you feel well supported. You may gravitate towards people who have also experienced loss, or you may want to spend time with people far removed from your own experience. Also, you may choose to distance yourself from those who haven't been helpful or supportive. So think about what you need: an escape, the absence of judgment, people who are fun, people who understand, or people who remember your loved one, and then plan what you're going to do. So I'm just trying to see if you guys are coming on. I just want to make sure I have comments set up right. Uh, if you are listening to me or you see me right now, send me a shout out so I know that you guys can see me here. Oh, I see you guys coming on now. Okay, I got it. Um, some of you are coming on. I can hear you and see you, said Larry. Great. I'm glad you guys are there. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Judy. Hi, Sue. Hi, Daisy. So, hello, Sandra from Tallahassee. And Tracy, I see you're on. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Paul. So it looks like you guys are coming on. Hi, Christy. Good to see all you guys. So I'm glad this is working. I wasn't seeing the comments, but now I am. Hi, Valerie from West Virginia, Christy from Salem, Ohio, Karen from New Hampshire. So now that you guys are on, I'm going to start from the beginning of my 7 New Year's resolutions for Grievers. Um, so I was talking about how the first one is go easy on yourself. And like I said, this may sound obvious, but it's easier said than done. So don't place expectations on yourself that you may not be able to live up to. Don't pressure yourself or allow others to pressure you into feeling like you should be over the loss. This might feel the opposite of a resolution because it's far from goal oriented, but really, being kind to yourself may be the best New Year's resolution that you can make. Hi, Louisa. I'm so sorry about your son. Thank you, Deb. I'm sorry about your son as well. So, the second resolution I was talking about was spending time with people you like. And life after grief can be very isolating, so sometimes we tend to isolate ourselves, but resolve to put a little effort into connecting with people who make you feel happy and well supported. You may have a tendency to gravitate towards people who have also experienced loss, or you may want to spend time with people that are far removed from your experience. Also, you may choose to distance yourself from those who haven't been helpful or supportive. Think about what you need: an escape, the absence of judgment, people who are fun, people who understand, or people who remember your loved one, and then plan what you're going to do. I always say during the holidays and really any day of the year, with the new year coming up, is don't spend time with people that I call Debbie Downers. You don't need to be spending time with people that are going to bring you down. Spend time with people that are going to lift you up. So that's my second um, New Year's resolution for grievers. Hi, Michelle. Michelle said, I find most of my friends are people I don't know before my husband passed away. And you know, it's interesting that you said that, Michelle, because um, I find that most of my friends now, after the loss of my spouse, are people I didn't know when I was with my spouse. And sometimes I find that comforting. I almost find it comforting that they don't know me and my loss. As strange as that might sound, I sometimes feel more comfortable being around people that don't know what I went through. So my third resolution for the new year is engage in one hobby or activity that makes you feel good. I'm not going to stop preaching about the importance of exercise. I think you probably hear a lot about exercise resolutions, and frankly, you're probably not in the mood to hear me say it, so I'm not going to say it. But exercise does wonders for your mental and physical health. So if the hobby you enjoy involves physical activity, then 10-point bonus points for you. But that being said, any hobby that you find enjoyable can be beneficial to your mental health, and hobbies can provide you with certain things. They can provide you with an escape. They can provide you an outlet for your difficult thoughts and your feelings. And they're also a means for connecting with other people. And sometimes a hobby can be an excuse to have alone time. You know, if you like making a puzzle or you like knitting or I like reading, so that when I read, it kind of takes me out of my own head and my own thoughts, and I can just focus on the book that I'm reading. And it can also give you a feeling of accomplishment. So when you do something, a hobby that you enjoy, and you get up instead of feeling like you did nothing that day or you were just wallowing in your grief, by doing that, you can help yourself to feel like you actually accomplished something, and that can make the day feel a little bit better. So I'm trying to read these these resolutions, but I'm also trying to read your comments. So I'm not ignoring what you're telling me. I am looking at both. Hi, Joanne. I'm sorry. Joanne said my family and friends just have nothing to do with me. I'm not sure why that would be. Are they afraid of your grief? I don't know, what their motive is for doing that, but sometimes you have to attach yourself with people that do understand your pain. And so, again, what I call finding your tribe, finding people that maybe have a similar loss as you can be a supportive network of people that can relate to what you're going through. Sometimes our own closest friends and family, I always say they know how to deal with you, but they don't know how to deal with a grieving you. So sometimes we find solace and comfort being around people that have had a similar loss as us, and they can relate to that loss that we had. So to go back to my 7 New Year's resolutions for Grievers, number 4 is be honest about how you feel. A few weeks or months after a loss, some people feel compelled to stop putting on a happy face for their family and friends, which is what we were just talking about. And you might want people to start treating you like you're normal again. Or you may be worried that if you keep talking about your loved one's death, you're going to alienate everyone that's around you. So sometimes we want so desperately to be okay again that we even try to fool ourselves. And I understand there are valid reasons why you may not want to tell your coworker or the cashier at Walmart how your day is really going, but finding ways to express your true feelings in places where you feel safe to do that can really help. And then number 5 is speak your loved one's name. Keep speaking your loved one's name. Share your story. It can make you feel much closer to the person you're missing. Hi, Kathy. Oh, I think support groups are great. So if you're meeting people in a support group, they're definitely part of your tribe, especially if you're in a support group where people have the same loss as you. So I think that's a great way to meet people that will understand what you're going through. And Joanne, I agree. I think that people don't know what to do or say. So sometimes when people don't know what to do or say, they don't say anything at all, which sometimes is worse because then you feel like they're not thinking about you or they're not thinking about your loved one and they're not talking about your loved one. So number 6 on the New Year's resolution for grievers is support someone else. And I'm a big advocate of this. When you're ready, look for ways to support other people who are grieving. And again, we were talking about a support group. Try going to a support group with the intent to give as well as receive the support. Even when you make a supportive comment on this page, you're helping, and that makes you feel like you're helping someone. It also makes you feel good. So I see a lot of people on my page, and I love when I see this, that people are saying something about their loss or they're sharing their story, and someone else might comment on that comment and say that they had a similar loss and that they understand what they're going through. And I think that not only helps the person that posted the original comment, but it also helps the person that's helping that person that posted that original comment. So keep doing that. And that's why I always say we're all just walking each other home. So every time you make a comment or you try to help someone else on the page, it's going to make you feel good. It's going to make you feel supported as well as them. And then number 7, the last one, and then I'll try to get to more of your comments. The last one is seek support for yourself. And this is really important. Make a resolution to get help for yourself in the new year. If you're finding it hard to go it alone, there's nothing wrong and everything right about asking for help. So, those are my 7 New Year's resolutions for grievers, and I hope you'll think about making some of them. And if you missed any of them, I've I've been talking about because you came on late to this video. I'll be posting this video on my Facebook page so you can listen to them again. But I do hope that you'll make some of these resolutions and that you found them helpful. So again, if you missed them, you can definitely rewatch this video on my page. But now I'm going to look at some of your comments and try to answer some of your questions if you have any. So Deborah said, I can't see you. I'm not sure why. That may be on your end, so I'm not sure why you're not seeing me. Um, Sherry said, 3 years next month. I'm sorry for your loss. So someone asked me to introduce myself. I did at the beginning. Maybe it didn't come up, but my name is Gary Sturgis, and I am the facilitator of the Surviving Grief, this Surviving Grief Facebook page. I'm a grief specialist, and also the author of 3 books on grief and loss. So I'm happy you're here, Gary. Thank you for sharing your information with me. Hi, Monica. Good to hear from you. If you guys have any questions about my 7 New Year's resolutions for grievers, just let me know. I'll try to answer them. If not, feel free to email me at gary@sgrief.com. I know some people don't like posting things on a public forum, but I'm happy to answer your emails if you have any, so feel free to send me those. Tracy said, can you tell us more about your books, how each is different? So I have 3 books. The first book is called Surviving, Finding Your Way from Grief to Healing. In this book, I tell my story about my own grief and loss. I share with you what I did to find my way from a place of grief to a place of healing. So it's somewhat autobiographical, but there's also some practical advice on grief and loss. And my second book that came out is called Grief, Hope in the Aftermath. It's the one with the lighthouse on it. This book was born out of my work as a grief group support facilitator. I facilitate grief support groups for people that have lost a partner or spouse. And in this book, I share with you some of the insights and stories of the people I've met along the way in these groups. So this book has everything from child loss, spouse loss, pet loss, parent loss, sibling loss, all different losses. So if you're looking for a book with practical advice and you want to hear other people's story as well, this is a great book. And my most current book, which is called Surviving Grief 365 Days a Year, this book is a 365 companion. You only have to read a page or two a day, and it will give you practical advice again on grief and loss. And I also share some of my stories of my experiences along the way. And again, this is a great book to get now, so you can start reading it on January 1st. You don't have to start reading it on January 1st, but it's a good time to start. So I hope that helps. You can also go on to my author page on Amazon.com, and you can read an excerpt from each book. So if you don't know which book would be best for you, you can go onto Amazon and read a few chapters of each one to decide which one you would like to read. So Louisa said, do you have the loss of a son, something like that? So I personally have not lost a child. I lost a spouse. I've lost my dad. I've lost some very good friends and family members. I've had a lot of loss in my life, but I've never had a child. So I have not lost a child. But in my books, I do talk about child loss in each of my books. Someone asked me just now if I could Kathy asked me if I could repeat the first 3 resolutions. So I'm not going to repeat them because you can watch this video again. It's going to be posted on this Facebook page. So if you missed any of them, just go back and watch the video over again. Thank you, Becky. I'm glad my books have helped you. I wrote the books to help people that have a loss, and I always appreciate when people tell me that it's helping them along the way. Hi, Jan from the UK. Just reading some of your comments. I'm sorry, Joni said she lost her one and only child, and I'm sure it does hurt more every day. Um, Child loss is something I don't work with many people with child loss. I refer them out to people. So if you lost a child and you're looking for information or support on child loss, you can feel free to email me at gary@sgrief.com, and I can give you some resources or some online support for child loss. I, Hi, Judy. I'm so sorry about your son. I'm glad that you're finding comfort in my books and my blogs. And and Louisa asked, how can I get it? If you're asking again how to get the books, you can get them on Amazon.com. Just go to Amazon.com, type in Gary Sturgis. You can find my Amazon author page. And also at the end of this video, I'll put in the comments the link to my books on Amazon. You can also, if you're out of the United States, you can get them on booklocker.com for any international followers that want to get the books. Thank you, Linda. I am so glad to be here live. Thank you for saying that. I don't do very many live. My schedule is so busy, and I'm also not very good with technology, as you can probably tell. So I don't do them that often, but I love coming on live, and I love hearing from you guys. And I'm also planning in 2024 to do some live Zoom with you guys. So I'll send out a link for you guys to join the Zoom, and we can meet that way too, and you can share your stories with me. And again, I love hearing you share your stories with me. So please feel free to email me at gary@usgrief.com and tell me your story, because we all have a story, and I think it's important to share them. So I love when you guys share your stories with me. Thank you, Joanne. I'm glad you're finding the books helpful. And again, people are asking me where to get them. Again, I'll put in the comments of this video where you can get the books. And also, someone asked me where I get the ideas from my blogs. As you can imagine, it's very difficult to write a blog 365 days a year. But the way I get the ideas from my blogs are, quite frankly, from you guys. People send me emails and they'll say, have you done a blog about this specific topic? And if I have, I'll do another one, or if I haven't, I'll do one. So I do appreciate when you guys send me ideas for blogs. Like I said, it's hard to. I think I've literally at this point written about every topic there is possible to write about on grief and loss. And I always say I talk a lot about grief and loss, and I do a lot of speaking engagements, live speaking engagements on grief and loss. And it's difficult to talk about grief and loss because with grief and loss, I call it, a targetless arrow. There's no, I don't have all the answers. I don't have a cure for grief and loss, because there is no cure for grief. We live with it and we learn to live around it. Most people talk about motivational things like making more money, and if you're trying to figure out how to make more money, we can give you ways to do that. If you're trying to find ways to be less stressed, we can give you ideas how to be less stressed. But it's difficult to tell someone how they can stop grieving, because there is no answer for that. So I do my best to try to share things with you that I've experienced on my own grief journey, and I hope that by sharing those experiences, it makes you feel less alone, because when I had my loss, I wasn't finding very much at that time online for support for my loss. So I'm hoping that by sharing my experiences and also talking about topics that you send me in emails, that it's helping you. So again, if you have a topic about loss that I haven't talked about in any of my blogs, please send me an email about that topic and I'll try to write a blog about it. I'm so sorry about your wife, Bernard. Thank you, Clayette. Clayette said she's been following me for almost 3 years now. I'm glad to hear that. I appreciate all the support. And she said she hopes everyone managed Christmas the best way for them, and I hope so too. Holidays are so difficult. Like I said, my holiday was on track for not being too horrible until I lost my father-in-law 2 days before it. So that was a tough one. Hi, Magda. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate it. Thank you, Nicole. I do. Someone asked me if I have loss of a family members, and like I said, I just lost my father-in-law. I also lost my dad. My dad died 2 years ago, and I miss him dearly. And I lost my spouse. And so I've had loss. I think no one gets out of this life without loss. So we all have loss in some way, and I always say we have to be respectful of that, and that every loss is unique, and every loss is unique to the relationship we had with that person. So um, it's important to acknowledge that we all have some sort of loss in our life. No one gets out alive, as I say. Um, Hi, Sue from Zimbabwe. I'm sorry, Nicole, about your mom. It's so hard to lose a parent. I know. I'm blessed to still have my mom, but losing my dad was tough. Thank you, Denny. I appreciate it. Appreciate all your kind words. Dawn said her brother sent her a sign. I love getting signs. They're great. In fact, this morning I'll tell you a little story. This morning I got up and I was thinking about my father-in-law. We had just put his obituary in the paper, and I looked out on my back deck and our red cardinal landed on the railing of the deck. And I truly believe that every time I see a cardinal, it's somebody that I loved and lost. And so I kind of feel like my father-in-law my father-in-law visited me this morning. So Magnus said, have you written on the topic of a more personal nature, such as loss of intimacy? I did write about that a little bit in my first book, Surviving, Finding Your Way from Grief to Healing. I know it's a tough topic to talk about. It's a secondary loss. You know, if we lose a spouse, then we lose the physical intimacy that we had with that spouse as well, and that can be really difficult. And I think some people maybe make bad choices because of that. So I always say be careful with the choices that you make after you lose someone like a spouse. Nicole, I am not in California. I actually live in Massachusetts. I live in Plymouth, Massachusetts, which they call America's hometown. And so I am about 30 or 40 miles outside of Boston. We're having a really rainy, dreary, kind of cold day. That's why I've got my fleece on because it's even cold in my house. Jan said some of my difficulties stem from not being sure how to help his three adult kids. It's difficult when you're grieving a loss in a family because everybody grieves that loss differently. And so his children, his adult children, are most likely grieving, they're grieving a dad when you're grieving a spouse. So it is difficult. But think, oh, I think it's important to acknowledge that and to be open and honest with each other and talk about what your grief looks like and what you're all feeling. I just wanted to say that Diane just said, I'm next door in Pembroke, Massachusetts. So you are a neighbor, and I don't know if you were watching the beginning of this video, but I was talking about how I'm going to be in Pembroke on February 12th at 5 p.m. at the Center for Active Living. So I hope that you will come out and see me. And Robin said she's heading to Plymouth now. Well, we welcome you here in Plymouth. Call it the land of the pilgrims. Good evening, Magna from South Africa. Magna's been on my page for quite a while. So yeah, so people are asking about the resolution. So I will briefly right now just go through them. I won't talk about them in the long form I did at the beginning, but if you want to hear them all in the beginning, you can watch the video from the start. So my first resolution was go easy on yourself. The second resolution was spend time with people you like. The third resolution was engage in one hobby or activity that makes you feel good. And the fourth resolution was be honest about how you feel. The fifth one was speak your loved one's name. The sixth one was support someone else. And the seventh one was seek support for yourself. And if you want to know what I said about each of those seven, watch the video from the beginning. Louisa asked me if it's nighttime where I am now. No, it's actually noontime in the day. So, um, Robin wants to know if I have any meetings north of Boston planned. Yes, I do. I do have upcoming live in-person presentations. My schedule is being worked on right now by my admin team, and I think I've told you guys I have the most fabulous admin team. I appreciate everything they do. They keep my crazy life in order. And so once that schedule comes out, I'll be sure to be posting on my Facebook page where those live events will be. So Louise is going to watch the video with her daughter. Great. So if you missed any of my 7 resolutions for Grievers in the new year, definitely rewatch this video. And again, I want to thank all you guys for your support. I will post my books in the comments. And if you have any questions, I'm getting so many questions thrown at me right now. I don't think I have the time to answer them all. But if you have any questions, please, please, please feel free to email me. I love hearing from you guys. My email is gary@sgrief.com. You can also click on the message button on my Surviving Grief Facebook page. You can also visit my website at www.sgrief.com, and I will be posting on my website. There's a tab called Workshops and Events. I'll be posting the workshops on there. I'm also going to be doing grief coaching in the new year. So if you're interested in doing one-on-one grief coaching with me, you can also send me an email and let me know that you're interested in that. And I hope that you guys will keep following my page. And I hope that you will find some peace and comfort in the new year. And again, if you've read my books, please leave me a review on Amazon. I would so appreciate that. And thank you so much for watching this video and for following my page every day. I love hearing from you guys, and I love walking along with you on this grief journey that we're all on. And again, like I always say, we're all just walking each other home. So please be kind to yourself and be kind to one another, and take care in the new year. Bye, guys.